Imagine being so big, you can't leave your own home.
So you're on your own quite a lot of the time then?
I am. I'm alone quite a lot of time.
Carl Thompson weighs 65 stone. As Britain's heaviest man, he's completely bedbound.
Carl is now at a weight where his eating and his food habits are putting his life in real jeopardy.
I think Carl's organs are all under immense strain every day he lives.
So would you say that when you called the paper, it was a little bit like a cry for help?
It was more cry for help. It was screaming for help.
Imagine moving around the house is such a struggle, you're forced to live in one room.
So this is my living room, bedroom, sitting room, the whole all in one.
Imagine you're so big you're unable to take your kids to the park.
When I look in the mirror, I can't see a good husband. I can't see a good dad. All I see is this monster looking back at me.
3 men whose enormous bodies mean their homes have become their prisons.
Once people become housebound through extreme weight, I think there is the ever-present danger of sudden death.
They're desperate to lose weight and once again reclaim their lives.
This is my last hope, my last chance. I don't want to be the first member of my family to die because of obesity.
But tragically for Carl Thompson, his addiction to food will ultimately cost him his life. It's April 2015. 32-year-old Carl Thompson has not left his flat in Dover in over a year. He's too heavy to walk or even to stand. He lies with just a sheet draped over him, completely bedbound. At 65 stone, he's Britain's heaviest man. His colossal weight puts huge pressure on all of his organs. His size affects his speech and his breathing.
How does it feel to be known as Britain's fattest man?
In a way, I know it's strange one because I'm happy about it and I'm not happy about it. I mean, yes, I'm happy I've got a title, no sort of broken record in some way. But I'm into Guinness Book of Records. And I don't really want, I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't like to break a record this way about my weight. I like to break records in another way so I can.
As Carl cannot move, he needs assistance with almost everything. He's entirely dependent on others to cook, clean, and even go to the toilet. So every day carers come to his flat.
Can you go and get a white tea cup and dry table with?
But today his friends are cooking him dinner. They didn't wish to appear on camera.
Carl, you can have it in a casserole dish, but it's really hot at the moment, so you have to have it like this for now, and then...
Where's casserole dish?
Well, you've got some on here, but the plate, you can't have the casserole dish because it's too hot. Burn yourself. You can have it when it's cooled down.
When dinner is served, Carl insists the amount of pasta on his plate is not enough. He says he'd rather have the whole casserole dish.
I'll have one in a minute then. I'm starving.
It's too hot, Carl.
Alright, well when it's cooled down, you can bring it in. Thank you.
On his way to becoming Britain's heaviest man, Carl has been eating 10,000 calories a day, 4 times the recommended daily amount for a man.
That's most of it. There's a little bit more out there, like a tiny bit, so just see how you feel after eating that bit, alright?
How much is my bit?
Literally, like a spoonful.
I won't bring much more weight in it.
Worry about the food on the plate first.
Really a spoonful, I'm not going to bring it in.
Carl's friends and carers cannot be with him 24 hours a day, and so he spends much of his time alone.
So what do you do? I mean, do you watch TV in the evenings? What's your what's your life like?
Yeah, when I watch TV in the evenings, I'll go on my iPad. And plays different music.
So are you on your own quite a lot of the time, though?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Yeah, I'm alone. Yeah, I am. I'm alone for a lot of time.
Carl lives in a one-bed housing association flat and receives around £700 a month in benefits, much of which he spends on food. He gave his local takeaway a door key so they can deliver right to his bed. Murdoch, the owner, estimates that Carl has spent £22,000 on fast food over the last 6 years.
This is the meat lasagna, and he was having it eat sometimes beef lasagna and sometimes vegetable lasagna, chicken wrap, potato wedges, double cheeseburger with lots of mayonnaise, top of burger sauce to go with it. And sometimes he was ordering twice a day. Once 5 o'clock, then one 11 o'clock. He was ordering ice cream.
And he'd have a whole tub like that?
Yes. Every night, 2 of the ice cream. I was buying a lot of chocolate and vanilla just for him, because that was his favorite one.
Carl's love of fast food has certainly been a contributory factor in his weight gain. Now at 65 stone, his size is of grave concern to doctors. Shaw Summers is a leading obesity expert and bariatric surgeon.
I think Carl's organs are all under immense strain every day he lives. I think the heart and lungs especially are struggling to keep pace with the demands of that enormous body. And you can see that every time he tries to move or if he speaks a long sentence, he's just not getting enough breath in to keep everything oxygenated and well supplied with blood. Generally, someone of Carl's size could die at any time, and it's usually either a heart attack or a respiratory arrest, or something trivial will happen, but it just collapses the house of cards and it all just fails.
Carl wasn't always big. As a child, he was a normal weight. But as he reached his late teens, he increased in size. His binge eating became worse after he moved into his own flat, age 17. But it was the death of his mother in 2012 that triggered his weight to balloon. By gorging and comfort eating, he doubled in size, putting on 30 stone in just 3 years.
I was quite young, didn't understand really my weight, and then obviously he got worse and worse, pushing people away. Didn't understand what was going on. Then they could see I couldn't. As I pushed people away, because I didn't need the help, but obviously I did at the time. But then obviously, because I'm pushing people away, too late. And now here's the situation now.
In early 2015, Carl came to the nation's attention after he called the newspapers claiming to be Britain's heaviest man.
So would you say that when you called the paper, it was a little bit like a cry for help?
It was more cry for help. It was screaming for help. And then, if it was this time next year, I won't be 65 stone. You're probably looking at, 10 stone heavier than that. 25 and 80 stone.
Yeah. He's clearly dependent. He's clearly addicted to food, and he's just recognising that unless he does something and accepts help and accepts the problem, he's going to die.
In the beautiful countryside of Southern Ireland lies the fishing port of Bantry. But despite the area's natural beauty, Richie Doyle does not get to enjoy it. He's trapped inside his council house and spends his days and nights confined to just one room. which has effectively become his prison.
I'm known here in the Bantry as Big Richie. That's what I'm known as. Like if you came to town here and say, you can tell me where Big Richie lives, they'd direct you straight to his front door.
Richie's now so big he cannot get up and down the stairs.
So this is my living room, bedroom, sitting room, the whole all in one. Staircase is very narrow. I can walk up, but for me to get back down, I have to walk down sideways. And there's also a chance of me falling on the staircase. So it's more my own welfare and looking after. If I go up there and if I fall down, I'm going to hurt myself. So the only thing to do is live down here, sleep here, eat down here. As you see, this is where I'm sitting, where I'm now is my bed. It's pretty narrow, it's on your sofa.
Because of his cramped living space, Richie wants the council to move him into somewhere more suitable.
I've been on to the council trying to get me a proper house where I can have a proper bed, proper sleep. And all I get told is there's nothing available, no funds there, there's no this, no that.
Luckily for Richie, his bathroom is on the ground floor. But maneuvering his big body in and out is a huge challenge.
Bathroom is very small. As you see there, if we stand here, the width between me and the sink is so narrow. Squeeze in past the sink to get to sit down. And then, because of the width of me, in the shower, I stand actually in this is dry at the moment, is, I say there's not much room in here. Even with the door there, you're constantly banging off the door with the washing.
Richie has put himself on a fairly extreme diet in a bid to lose weight. He's desperate to be able to leave his house and be free to live his life once again.
The most important meal in the morning.
So you just have that as is, you don't have anything with it, no fruit or anything like
No,
that?
no. Just porridge in the morning.
By eating healthily, Richie hopes to improve both his quality of life and his health. In Dover, 65-stone Carl Thompson's condition has drastically deteriorated. He had to make an emergency call for medical help as his body struggled to take on the oxygen it needed. This was due to a potentially life-threatening condition called sleep apnea, which is brought on by being overweight.
Yeah, okay.
Sleep apnea is a condition where you essentially snore so badly that you hold your breath. And that breath holding puts strain on the heart, strain on the lungs, and if you do it night after night, year after year, eventually the heart gives up, has a heart attack, and you die.
So, Carl, what happened last night? Can you tell me about that?
Well,
about you had to call the ambulance and stuff.
Yeah, it was actually this morning actually, about what, 6 o'clock, 6:30 this morning. Because the camera that because I was starting to breathe. I'm from breathing the last few days now. Oxygen though, because they consider I could be suffering from sleep apnea really badly. So, I think we tired all the time, tired on the phone, stuff like that. So, it could be, it could be that. So,
Because of his condition and his body's inability to get the oxygen it needs, Carl struggles to stay awake for any period of time, and he drifts in and out of consciousness.
And I got to see what's going on, and hopefully I got the test for 3 days. And after 3 days they will tell me what the results are, or wait for results, and what to do. Can you ring or let us confirm what's wrong with me, and if I need a special machine to help me sleep and that.
And what machine have they bought you? What have you got here?
It's only a thing to put on your finger. What the ambulance crew give you, not to detect your blood, your blood, sorry, your oxygen levels and your heart. Well.
Carl has been given an oxygen saturation reader to help monitor his condition.
This is nothing new. Can you put that around your wrist? Put it on. Right, now you put that on your finger. Don't matter what finger you put on. Now where you go? Okay.
It tells us how full his red blood cells are with oxygen. Now, normally they should be 95 to 99% saturated with oxygen. If it falls below 95%, then his body will start to react because he's low on oxygen. If it falls much below 90%, towards the 80s, then his body will start to go into a distress mode because he's not getting enough oxygen to his blood cells.
But yes, I'm 89.
With an oxygen saturation reading of 89, it's clear that Carl's body is struggling to cope.
It was lower than that. When I called the ambulance, it was down to 82. It was 82. So, yeah. So it's hovering around that mark at the moment, so it's a little bit low. So, that's what it is. Sorry, can we just cut for a second, please?
Yeah, sure.
Carl's situation is critical. He desperately needs to lose weight. But it's clear that in order to do so, he needs help. Super obesity is a problem all over the world. It may be thousands of miles away, but in Glennsville, Georgia, USA, Thomas Ammons is also effectively trapped inside his home because of his size.
To be honest, if I could stay at home forever, I would.
For Thomas, his weight is not just a physical issue, it's a psychological one too.
Going out means stares. It means people staring at me. It means people judging me. And I know that affects my children, but it's hard. It's too difficult for me.
Thomas lives with his wife, Amber, and their two sons, John and Thomas Jr. He doesn't like to leave the house because he's worried about the reaction his 40-stone figure gets from other people. But now he's desperate to lose weight for his family.
Those boys, they're my life. And my wife, she's my life. And my wife does so much for me, and I want to pay her back so bad. But I want to be who she deserves. I don't want to just be who she had to settle for. And she can say all she wants, how much she loves me and everything, but I can't see that in the mirror. When I look in the mirror, I can't see a good husband. I can't see a good dad. All I see is just monster looking back at me. And I want to get rid of that monster. I want to slay the beast.
Thomas has put himself on a low-carb, high-protein diet in an attempt to lose the weight he needs.
We are cooking chicken, just regular, like paprika, not nothing too special. If I could figure out how to work this thing. There we go. It is for his diet. That's why we aren't braiding anything, aren't using any sugars or flours or anything like that. We're baking the chicken.
This is my last hope, my last chance. I don't want to be the first member of my family to die because of obesity.
Hey, I saw
Oi.
You know what they say? Dinner is served.
Dinner is served, Thomas. There you go. Dinner is served.
I don't think I'll ever get rid of that fat guy mentality of sucking the meat off the bones.
Dieting is hard for Thomas, and he's always struggled with his weight, even as a child.
Here's a picture of me. I was about 9. I was already getting really big for my age. There's a picture of me when I was a teenager. I had those exercise machines, and I tried to use them every day, but using exercise machines by themselves wasn't enough. I didn't know the right ways to eat at the time.
But after Thomas got married, his weight ballooned.
It makes me think about how I failed myself and failed my family, and how I don't want to fail them anymore.
Here you go.
Thomas's mental struggle to leave the house has had a huge effect on both him and his family.
Okay.
And his dream is to once again be able to take his family to the park. In Dover, 65-stone Carl Thompson's condition has improved. But his sleep apnea has been stopping his body getting the oxygen it needs. He desperately needs to lose weight. And today, he's taking his first steps towards shedding the pounds.
This from Weight Watchers. I'm not going to say the name of it's a low-fat moose. So first thing I'm eating fatty things, I'm not.
Not like the old days where you'd eat 5 Magnums.
No, but no. That's it, and this is low fattening. So, and I got proof as well. It's on the box. 2 flavours. They do the chocolate one and the caramel one.
Currently completely bedbound and unable to stand because of his size, Carl dreams of once again being able to walk.
I'll be walking on my flat after leaving here. I'll just get to bed. We'll get to the toilet first. Maybe get to the bathroom first. Then back. That's my first goal. The second goal is get round. Then the second goal is to get round this flat. No problem whatsoever. When I get stronger, I'm stronger. I can do that. And then I have no problem whatsoever. You know, I can do the things I want to do around the flat. Doing this thing first start I want to do first.
Yeah.
No, I can finally walk on this flat.
Dietitian Lucy Jones has come to Dover in a bid to help Carl and change his eating habits.
Carl is now at a weight where his eating and his food habits are putting his life in real jeopardy. He doesn't have a long life expectancy unless real changes are made. And I think we've reached the path of no return, actually. We've got to do something quite drastic, and it's got to be done quickly, or there are really serious consequences in terms of his immediate and future health. My name's Lucy.
Hi.
Hello. Really nice to meet
And
you.
you.
So, I understand you've been seeking some sort of support with trying to get your weight down.
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you want to tell me a bit more? What are you hoping to achieve?
Well, to lose all my weight, basically.
Yeah.
Is losing weight something that you've tried before this point?
Or is this really the first time that you've properly tackled it?
No, I've probably tackled it once before,
Yeah.
but I didn't go down too well.
I did a bit of sums and I worked out, because of your weight, actually you'd need 7.5, maybe 8,000 calories a day just to keep your weight stable. So what we need to do is to start bringing it down from that point, and you have to do it in stages so that you don't get completely...
But how, asking you this then, how long in stages will it come down? So I'm saying I'm 8,000 calories a day, for example, right? So say, in 6 months' time we go down to 7,500 or?
Gosh, no, I'm talking a week at a time.
I'm just sure.
Yeah, so I think you take it down by 1,000 a week, and you'd also need support with this.
That's what you said about going down 1,000 calories in a week. That's gone down a bit too quick.
You feel that would be too quick, do you?
Yeah.
Well, look, this is your journey, and you've got to feel comfortable with whatever changes you make.
I'm thinking, you know, dropping 1,000 calories in like a month or, you know, in two or
So aiming it to get down by 1,000 calories every month or even every 2 months if you weren't quite feeling ready for another drop.
Yeah.
That would feel more manageable to you.
Yeah, I think. And we said, I mean, it was half the size of that. I'll agree with you. Because I'm 65 stone. There's a lot of weight to go off and doing it that quickly. If I was 30 stone, what do you mean? If I was 35 stone, then I'll agree with you, go do that. Because of the way I am, I think
we need to do whatever feels comfortable for you, because to get your confidence high, you've got to feel that it's achievable and manageable. What would your goals be that have nothing to do with weight in terms of your life? What do you want to be able to do again or to achieve?
I've got a nephew now. He's just turned 1.
You've just turned 1?
Yeah. So I'm not living away from him.
Yeah. So you want to be a part of your nephew's life?
Yeah, I love him to bits. And I want to see him go out, get married, have kids of his own, play football with him, you know, go to the park with him and, you know.
So if we think about your life over the last sort of 10 to 20 years, do you think you've ever managed to lose a significant amount of weight?
No.
No? And that's something that you've always struggled with? It's all right, take your time.
Oh.
So I finally got to meet Carl and assess him, and I'm torn. Do you know what? I'm really thrilled that losing weight is so important to him and that he feels so confident. But in a way, I also find that quite a worry, because if he was that confident and it was so possible to do, he would be doing it. And I'm hoping that he's not underestimating just how hard this is or how many barriers there will be. The bottom line of it is, it's his body, his decisions and his choices that are going to direct the path he takes from here.
In Ireland, Richie Doyle has made the decision to put himself on a diet in a bid to lose the weight he needs. For lunch today, he's having a cup of beef stock with a slice of white bread.
So is that what you have for lunch most days?
Yeah. I love the oxo there, the salt and the beef flavour in it. So you add a bit of bread into it, it's nice.
So that fills you up?
Oh yeah. That'll keep me going now till probably 7 o'clock tonight, 7 o'clock tonight.
Richie hasn't always been the size he is now. He once had a 34-inch waist.
I'm the largest of the family at the moment. As they call me here in town, Big Richie. And that's the reason why, because I'm big. I actually am housebound at the moment.
Richie was in the army and worked as a firefighter before his colossal weight gain took over his life. Because he's housebound, Richie's interaction with the outside world is limited, and he spends much of his time alone.
Well, I don't have a social life. Friends call into me. They, hello, how are you? They wave to me. That's it at the moment.
Do you miss not being able to get out and visit people?
It does get you every so often, but not like, if you can't get out, you can't get out. That's the thing about it.
Richie hopes to one day lose the weight which will enable him to leave his house and live a full and active life. Thomas Ammons has also been dieting in an attempt to lose the weight and gain the confidence he needs to once again take his family to the park. And today is the all-important weigh-in. Thomas is hoping he's shed plenty of pounds.
I'm hoping for anything, really. Any loss is great with me, as long as it's a loss and not a gain. That's what I'm hoping for.
At his last weigh-in, Thomas was 579 pounds, which is 41 stone.
Please don't fall. Please don't fall.
564.4 pounds.
Thomas has lost 15 pounds, or just over a stone.
I think that's awesome. That's a great start, and that's proving that I'm doing something right. So hopefully I can keep doing something right, and I'll get down to 500, maybe below.
Yes. Good job, babe.
Okay. You said that too.
Thomas has taken his first steps towards gaining the confidence he needs to once again take his wife and children to the park.
I expected to lose 10, but I actually lost 15 pounds, which is really awesome. I know it may just be water weight, but still, I'm looking forward to losing more weight and more weight and more weight, and I'm going to keep on until I meet my goals.
Even though it's water weight, it's still weight. It's still weight that's gone. You do have to keep it off.
In Glennsville, Georgia, USA, it's a big day for Thomas Ammons and his family. After losing 15 pounds, or just over a stone, he's now gained the confidence he needs to go to the park. And everyone's understandably excited.
Yes, we are very excited to go to the park.
Today, the family are venturing to the park for the first time in well over a year.
Did Nana and Grandma give y'all candy?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. I'm sure there's chocolate.
What'd y'all eat?
Cookies.
There we go. That's it. Cookies.
Going to the park is a huge step for Thomas, and his concerns about being out in public are still in the forefront of his mind.
I'm just really hoping that the park is not going to be crowded. I'm sure lots of people like to go to the park on Saturdays, but hoping that today, today it'll be kind of quiet around there. I know Daddy's a bad driver, ain't he?
Yes, you're a bad driver.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I can see the poke.
Having arrived at the park, Thomas now faces a mental and physical battle in order to make it to the children's play area.
It's a real big struggle to get up here, and my back's killing me. My legs are killing me. I'm already ready to quit.
You have to lose weight.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to do, son.
Yep.
I want people to look at me and think of a success story, not look at me and think of a failure. I want people to look at me and say to themselves, if he can do it, I can do it. I want to be that person that motivates people to get off the couch, put down the chips, pick up something healthy. I want them to say, wow, I can't believe how much weight he lost. I can't believe how well he's doing, how healthy he got for his family. John, look at me. Say cheese.
it feels lovely to be out, and just even if we're sitting right here on the bench and the kids are playing, it feels really good to be out and about. All that great stuff.
Hello, climbing up the water.
Being here at the park really does make me feel like I could be doing more. I could be getting out a little more. It's good for the kids, and I can see they like Daddy being there.
Mama, look, I'm running.
Oh, on the road again.
Let's go, John.
Ready? Let's go.
I would definitely go to the park again, do a little bit of walking, and let the boys play. I think it's a great exercise for me to do, and although it was hard, it wasn't impossible.
By losing the weight to enable him to take his family to the park, Thomas achieved what once seemed the impossible dream.
Are you saying bye to the park?
In Dover, after a visit from dietitian Lucy Jones, Carl Thompson is attempting to lose the weight he most desperately needs.
What's that you've got there, Carl?
These. The sweetness. When you're dieting on that, they are judged though, because I can't seem to work out, and sometimes I'm tea too sweet, or my coffee too sweet, sorry. I like what they put on the front of here. Slimmer brand. Brilliant that. Also the sweetness also this will people, you know, are cutting down on weight.
Despite Carl's new diet, his health is still in jeopardy. So today, foremost obesity expert and bariatric surgeon Shaw Summers has come to see him.
Hello, Carl.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
He wants to assess whether surgery may be a viable option for him, or whether at 65 stone an operation could be just too risky.
Do you feel that you're addicted to food? Do you?
Yeah.
So it is a proper addiction for you.
Yeah.
To help you break that is hard work, and it's part of a long-term journey.
Yeah.
Carl, day to day, is it a real struggle looking after yourself? So keeping clean and toileting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, I've got Gary to come and help me out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So if you need to go to the toilet, you can't actually go to the toilet. You have to. No. The issues, as I see it, as a specialist who's been doing this for 20 years, is that we can get you to walk along that journey and help you lose weight naturally, but it's a slow process and it's very prone to you slipping backwards.
What do you mean by that?
Well, your heart is under a lot of strain.
Yeah.
As is your breathing.
So what you're saying is me being here is a risk?
Yeah. And that I think you need to lose weight pretty convincingly and pretty soon if we're to try and give you a chance of a long-term future. The last 5 years, have you had any illnesses like chest infections or blood clots?
Yeah, I got blood clots. I went to the hospital, Obesity.
Okay.
Twice.
Is that from an infection in your tummy?
Yeah. Twice.
Okay.
Went in for them.
Have you got any problems like ulcers or anything like that?
In my legs.
On your legs?
Yeah, I've got sores on my legs now.
Do you mind if I have a look?
They're bandaged up. I don't know if them come down. I've got loads of sores at the moment.
Okay. Do you mind if I have a look at your bandaged legs? Are you happy for the cameras to look as well?
Yeah.
Let me have a little look at your legs, because that does tell me quite a bit. Okay.
They're going down. I've got the nose come down.
Yeah. Do you scratch your legs at all? Do they get itchy?
Yeah, they're dry now.
Yeah.
I'm going back 9 months ago, doctor.
Okay.
They were weeping really, really badly.
Yeah.
And they're weeping really badly. And I used to sleep on the sofa.
Yeah.
From my bed down.
Can I gently take your pulse? That's good. It's nice and regular. So, how long's your chest been like this?
Well, I'm doing now for
a few years now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continue.
And can I have a little look at your tummy, please?
Yeah.
Is that possible? Okay. Let's just have a look, see if I can have a look at your tummy button. There you go. Okay, so your tummy is quite soft. You've got an apron, but it's not got hardened at all.
It was.
This part here?
Was.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of fluid in it.
And do you change the side that you're lying on from time to time?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can feel that's right. There's a bit more fluid that's collected in that side. Let me just pop round the bottom here. Okay. Do you get sore underneath this apron at all? Do you feel it gets sore where where your bits and pieces are?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I can just gently feel there, I can feel just your rib cage there. Okay. So for me, that doesn't create any problems if I needed to do an operation on you. I've got a good way in there, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's pop yourself back where you're comfortable. Carl, that's very good. Thank you. So, Carl, my view is that at the very least, supervised dieting, psychology, and day-to-day help will start to help you.
Yeah.
Leaving you as you are means that you're not going to be here within 6 months or a year. You might not be here anymore. Whereas, at least if we try with an op, if it's safe enough to do, we might actually reverse that.
So that's the thing, see, I got told people my size have an operation, I might not come through with the operation.
That's true, but at least I would say there's more than a 50-50 chance we will get you through if you're properly prepared and properly assessed.
Well,
it's better than no chance of being here in 5 years' time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We need to know how strong your heart is, how good your breathing is, and generally how well you are with blood tests and various other tests. And once we know that, we can look at where the balance of risks lies. And if the risks are too much against surgery, then that's not an option for you.
Yes, that'd be brilliant.
Okay. Is there anything you want to ask me?
No.
Well, Carl's a 32-year-old man in real trouble. He's clearly spent a long time getting that big. And I think to try and reverse his self-destruct trend is going to take a lot of hard work. My worry is that he's so far gone with his breathing and his heart that surgery might not be an option for him. And his risks of dropping dead from heart-related problems is huge.
Sadly, just 3 weeks after Shaw Summers visited Carl, he passed away in his sleep.
I think the thing that killed Carl was his sleep apnea. I think he must have had a very long pause in his respiration, and that put such a lot of strain on his heart that it just failed. I was very sad to learn that Carl had died, but unfortunately it was just too late for him.
Carl's case is a tragic one, but it underlines the dangers of extreme obesity.
Once people become housebound through extreme weight, I think there is the ever-present danger of sudden death because all of the body systems are running at the limit of their capacity, and it doesn't take much to collapse the house of cards. When that happens, there is no surviving.
Click on screen for more videos of Extraordinary Humans.